It's near of a, no my phone left. Oh, I know. I've got 24 minutes here. I can space about 20 minutes there into other storage on my phone if I need to. You coming back? You're off your bloody heat. So yeah.
Back shift this afternoon.
You're off your bloody heat, mate.
You alright?
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Have you got enough, do you think?
Probably will do, yeah, probably leave the next 5 minutes. Probably will leave the next few minutes.
Well, they're going to call the police. Oh, so yeah, I think you want to film that.
Sure.
Alright, not a problem then. Okay. Shame on you!
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on Triage! Shame on you! Triage! Shame on you! Triage! Shame on you! 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 And by the way, we're saying shame on you, not to the workers, but to Triage. Shame on you, Triage. And I just want to make that clear. It's shame on the Triage, not the workers that are working here. They're just doing their jobs, and we understand that. And they're only working for the company, so it's not their fault.
It is their fault. You shouldn't work for a company that destroys people's lives. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Doing your job was never an excuse at Nuremberg, and it's not an excuse here, and it's not an excuse in the job centres either.
Well,
if doing your job is making people destitute, if doing your job is making people work for nothing, if doing your job is destroying people's lives,
Sean,
then
hold the work for your sign up straight.
Well, I do take the point about the Nuremberg principle, but however, the point is we're here to criticise the company, but not the individual employees. So I do take the point. You have that point there. I do take the Nuremberg principle very seriously. Minding the following orders is not a defence. I understand that.
Shame on you!
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! And the message I want to get out across as well is to say to people, you should be out demonstrating, you should be fighting back, not being afraid or cowed down by these companies and by the Department of Works and Pensions. If everybody that was unemployed and was disabled and poor gets up off their backsides and fights back, that's what we need. That's why we're here today. That's why the man filming behind you, who's showing this film, he is a disabled man, and he's a disabled man. The people downstairs are in wheelchairs, and they've made their time for today. And it's very, very important that this gets seen. That the disabled people from the likes of the Glasgow Disability Alliance and from other disabled organisations and unemployed groups have got to get out and have got to start fighting back. It's okay going to conferences and having meetings, but the Glasgow Disability Alliance have got to get out onto the streets and actually get disabled people back out onto the streets to demonstrate. It's no good just going to meetings and having nice cups of tea and all the rest of it. It's got to be active out on the streets, and that's what we need, and we need it from now on.
It's also about self-support and supporting each other and sharing the knowledge that we've got. So getting to know your rights, helping other people know your rights, and making sure that the rights that we do still have are kept, and then fighting for more rights. So it's coming together as people who are unemployed or have been unemployed, or know people who are unemployed, or people who are disabled, fighting together and supporting each other. So, you know, we're outside the job centres letting people know their rights. We've got a rights leaflet to let people know what their rights are. And, you know, every time that these people step outside what they're allowed to do, we've got to be on them, and we've got to tell them that. But also, we've got to put pressure on, you know, what they are allowed to do, because the law as it is not enough.
That's correct. The bottom line is this protest today is very, very important. The reason we didn't bring lots of people with us was quite significant. We didn't want a mob. We didn't want to be damaging property. We didn't want to verbally abuse any members of staff. This is why we've done it the way we've done it, because that way it's within the law. It's about freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of expression, and for the people to fight back and to be able to say about this that this is not right, that working for slave labour, working for nothing is not acceptable in the 21st century, that people have got to be treated with dignity instead of people being done to stack shelves for £50 a week and doing 40 hours, working for more than £1 an hour. That's just not acceptable. It's absolutely scandalous that that's happening. That's what would happen. We'd be criticising if it was happening in the Far East or in a far old country, but it's happening in our own country. It's happening in Scotland today. It's happening in Glasgow today, that people are working for a little over £1 an hour, stacking shelves and basically doing manual labour for 40 hours a week or more, and they're only getting paid about £1 an hour, and that's their unemployment benefit, the minimum they're allowed to live on, and that's not even enough to live on. And basically, how do they get to their work? They've got to get buses, they've got to get trains, and they can't afford it. They can't afford to do it, and basically they're working for nothing. These people are working for nothing in today's Glasgow, in today's Scotland. We have lots and lots of poor people at home. We've got 870,000 people living in poverty in Scotland today. We've got basically 200,000 children living in poverty in Scotland today. We've got food banks growing exponentially because people are starving at the end of the month. People are suffering from malnutrition, and that's what's happening in Scotland today. That's everything that's happening in Scotland today. People are committing suicide because they've got no money to live on. They've got no hope. That all hope has died and nobody cares, and politicians just continue as though nothing has happened. They talk about people dying anywhere else. It's happening in this country. It's happening today. So the people in this country need help every bit as much as anywhere else, and we need to help our people today, and that's what really has to happen.
I'm fucking killing me here.
Right, we're going to end the protest. We're just going to end the protest now and leave. So we're going to end the protest now, we're going to leave, and that's what we're going to do, okay? It's been filmed for the internet and all the rest of it. So, but we haven't filmed you, we haven't filmed the employees, we'll make sure we're not on film.
We didn't want you in film, we don't want to harass you in any way.
Preserve your privacy. So you've not been filmed, just to reassure you on that score. And we're just going to depart now.
Oh, do you want to get those here? I'll just release it.
Oh, can you do that?
What do you think? Yeah.
And we're leaving now, and we're saying that we're leaving as we come in to protest, to highlight what's happened. It's absolutely scandalous that this has happened. And we're leaving now. Okay, goodbye. Cheerio.
Bye. And I'll keep this rolling.
Yeah, keep it rolling.
Very quiet office.
That isn't half, isn't it?
It's only open for going Glasgow. No, research are very careful. Get in the loft. Oh, I think he's
That's alright, I could walk up and downstairs, that's no problem.
Sorry,
oh, you can. What's
Right. Just let you know we're still filming, Sean, if you're still getting in there to say.
Yeah, we've ended this peaceful protest because you yourself basically are disabled and you're finding it really, really tough to keep going. So I understand that, James, and that's why we ended the protest. So just to let you know, that's why we've ended it before the police came, and this is why we've done what we've done. And you know, we'll go outside now and we're going to say, oh, the police are here. Oh, guess what?
That's good. I am still filming. Right, and press to exit that side. Yep. Right, if you let me get round the front, I'll...
We're occupying the building today.
We've occupied the building today because a company up there called Triage basically employ people for nothing and get companies from all over Scotland to employ people for stacking shelves for nothing, for £1 to stack shelves for nothing except their job seekers allowance of £50 a week. So we get people working for about £1 an hour for next to nothing. People who then are sanctioned if they turn up a minute late and they've got no benefits to live on and they commit suicide, and that's what's happening in Glasgow, in Scotland today. And disabled people have been forced back to work when they're not fit to go back to work through the work programme. We're saying that's inherently wrong and immoral. This company making £11 million a year, 1.75 million people go through the work programme, only 3% get permanent jobs, so they've been used for skivvy, for slave labour, and that's what's actually happening, and it's an absolute scandal.
And it's stopping people who are being paid for doing those jobs as well, so it doesn't just hit the people who are unemployed, it hits everybody, and it's bringing down wages for everybody. And people who don't do all the things that they're asked to do, then they're sanctioned, then they lose all their money altogether. So this company is responsible for slave labour, it's responsible for leaving people destitute, it's responsible for making people have to go to the food bank, and it's making millions of pounds on the back of other people's misery.
And also Atos and Salos and Maximus are sanctioning people every single day. These private companies who make £1 billion from the unemployed, who make over £1 billion in the backs of the poor, the sick, the disabled and the dying. They should hang their heads in shame. They should hang their heads in shame. This is the 21st century. We should have a living wage of £10 an hour for every man and woman who work for companies. And these big companies who make wages off the backs of the poor should hang their heads in shame. They are, in effect, contract killers. They are they are architects of slave labour, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
Would you work 30 hours a week for 6.5 months for no pay? Would you do it? Would you clean toilets, mop floors for 30 hours a week for up to 6.5 months just to get your benefit money? In 2012, on the International Disabled Day, Ian Duncan Smith announced that the disabled would now have to take part in workfare. So you now have people like myself cleaning toilets, mopping floors to get their benefits. I can't go to the toilet myself, but I'm expected to clean it to get my benefits. This is this country better together. Triage upstairs gets £37,000 for each placement to get somebody on workfare. They made £11 million last year.
What we also need is that you know the facts. That there's 870,000 people in Scotland living in poverty, 200,000 of them are children. The fact is that food banks are growing exponentially. People in Glasgow, people in our own country are suffering from malnutrition. People in our own country are committing suicide because they've got nothing to live on. That's what's happening in Scotland today. That's what's happening in Glasgow today. And it's a country that is being done from Westminster, and what we need is independence for Scotland, a socialist Scotland with redistribution of income and wealth, so that the poor can have £10 an hour, so that people can have a basic income to live on in dignity and peace, so that the sick and dying don't need to worry about going to get their benefits cut. We need a civilised country today!
Come and join the Scottish resistance! We must claim back the oil wealth that is ours. It belongs to you and I. It should be used in the best interest of the Scottish people. You should all be wealthy. Look at all these Arab countries. They're all rich. They're stealing your money.
Well said, James.
We're a country. If you think of a poor country, what's the worst image? It's people going over rubbish heaps to earn a living, going through rubbish to earn a living. That's what people who are on benefits are sent to do.
I've done that.
People on benefits, if they're to keep their benefits, they're sent to the recycling centres